As you probably know, our own Bill Griffith here is retiring at the end of this month, and he's been taking us on some excellent adventures that made up his 39 years here at 10 News.
And for today's story, we decided to take him on one more adventure.
Oh, this was so bad. Y'all get you guys for this. I had planned to take you to Valhalla High School in El Cajon, where back in the spring of '76, when I came here, I spent Friday afternoon shooting highlights of a sophomore diver there you may have heard of. Kid named Louganis, Greg Louganis, that was him. He was without equal, setting high school records at Valhalla, which stood for decades. Well, that summer in Montreal, he became world famous, winning the first of his great gold medals in 3 Olympic Games. I thought when I went back to Valhalla yesterday that I was just going to reminisce about that with my friend Jason here, about that spring, but my colleagues here had other ideas.
Oh my God! Oh man! Oh, you had no idea. Look at you. You look terrific. Thanks. Oh my gosh, man. Come on, put your speed on. Let's go diving.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
He was ready to go diving again out there. The Valhalla High School marching band, the cheerleaders, all got out there 8 o'clock in the morning to greet us and play for us. It was absolutely amazing.
It was so worth it just to see the look on your face. Now, this right here may be the image that comes to mind for many when they hear the name Greg Louganis.
Yeah. Ooh, that was Seoul in 1988 when he hit his head on the board in qualifying. He had been the heavy favorite, as you know, going into these Olympics for gold, but that changed that fast.
And in that split second, I became the underdog. It was one of those mixed blessings. You know, I think that it was kind of a wake-up call to my coach and myself that, you know, you got to take one thing at a time, one moment at a time, one dive at a time, you know, and you know, you can never be sure of anything. So it was a wonderful life lesson.
And that's something, life lesson now, right? Yeah. He went on, of course, to win 2 golds in '88 and 2 golds in '84. Of course, 1980, he qualified for the team, but there was the boycott. Right? And he said he called those the forgotten Olympics.
Right, right.
Anyway, one thing about Greg Louganis, the high schooler, he was a very shy, very quiet kid.
Yeah, that's something that Greg reflected on when we met him. I had the honor of meeting him with you yesterday, and he sort of remembered a lot about Bill, too.
I felt bad for Bill because, I mean, whenever he would try to interview me, I mean, I was a man of very few words, if any. You know, it was more of a head nod, yes or no. You know, so I was like the interviewer's nightmare, you know, so I felt bad for him, you know, but looking back on it, you know, I've come a long way.
Well, Greg said he learned to speak up and give more detail from his experience with you back in '76.
Yeah, and you know, I learned to ask questions that just needed more than a simple yes or no answer as well. Now, he said, what?
I mean, does he talk about what surprised him?
Oh, actually, you're right. I'm glad you asked that. He said he remembered that Valhalla's school pool was much bigger when he dived in. He said it looked like a postage stamp now. Anyway, today, Greg is a judge with the Red Bull diving tournaments, and he also champions those LGBT causes around the world. He and his husband and their dogs live in Beverly Hills, so I really appreciate him coming down to visit.
And I know how much you appreciated Valhalla High School. Of course, we want to thank Greg for coming out all the way up from Beverly Hills just to see and give you that big hug. You know, the cheerleaders, the marching band, and the staff at Valhalla High School, thank you so much for waking up early and making Bill's day very special. And of course, Bill, they did a great job making you surprised.
Did it make you feel like you had won a gold medal?
It did. That's a very good way to describe it. Virginia, that's a perfect way to describe it.